Hey you guys, so I am starting a new series on my channel. It's not going to be like a every week type of thing, but just every now and then I'm going to be uploading videos as part of my series called What About Your Friends? If you've been around long enough, then you'll know that is the title to a very popular song by TLC. And that song happens to be one of my really good friends' favorite songs. Like, I've literally known this woman for like 20 years now, and that is legit one of her favorite songs. So, I want to talk about Alexis Crawford and Jordyn Jones. Now, Alexis Crawford's story has made national headlines over the last week because she went missing on October the 31st. She was a senior in college down in Atlanta, Georgia. Seemed to have her whole life and a bright future ahead of her, you know. Well, a few days before she went missing, she had filed a police report claiming that she had been sexually assaulted by her roommate's boyfriend. I believe it was the 26th or the 27th of October that she filed the police report. 4 or 5 days later, she's missing. Okay. And there was a massive search for her. People were really hoping that she would be found alive and returned safely to her family. Unfortunately, late last night or early this morning, the police department released a statement saying that her body had been found in a park in Georgia, and her roommate Jordyn, along with Jordyn's boyfriend, led police to the body, and now both have been arrested as they are suspects in her murder. This is why I'm calling this What About Your Friends? Because Alexis and Jordyn were roommates, so apparently they were close enough to feel comfortable enough living together, right? B, if you look at some of the things being said about Jordyn online, Jordyn was one of those girls whose social media pages, had all of these posts about the importance of sexual assault victims and domestic violence survivors speaking out, going to the police, sharing their stories. So apparently she was really a huge advocate for women who were victimized, right? Up until the suspect was her boyfriend. When the suspect is her boyfriend, when her boyfriend is accused of sexually assaulting her roommate, instead of her getting rid of the boyfriend and no longer allowing him to, have access to the apartment, she allegedly helped him kill her. Let me tell y'all something. As Black women, we're often taught to have a healthy amount of concern or caution when dealing with other races of people. However, when we deal with other Black people, we're taught to see a family connection, right? So we're taught to view every Black woman as a sister and every Black man as a brother. And that causes us to ignore obvious red flags, because to me, if Alexis didn't see it herself, then her family should have seen it. Once she filed that police report, it was no longer safe for her to be in that apartment. Her family should have tried to find other housing for her. I don't know how it works in every state, but I know in some states, if you have a reason to believe that staying where you live presents a danger to you, right? Once you file the police report and you get a restraining order, you can take that to your landlord and use that as a reason to be let out of your lease. And if the landlord wouldn't let her out of the lease, I feel like her family should have been able to step in, find some emergency housing for her and deal with the landlord once you know that your daughter or your niece, your little sister, whatever, once you know that she's safe. Okay? And it's just so sad to me that no one around her thought to remove her from that situation. And it's also very sad to me that Jordyn, her roommate, was apparently involved in her murder over a dude who literally had nothing going for himself. Apparently, he was not in school. He had a rap sheet himself, a very lengthy criminal record, including charges of cruelty to children and I believe domestic assault. Okay. But yet Jordyn chose this man over her roommate's life. So now Alexis is deceased. Jordyn will probably spend most of her life behind bars, as will her boyfriend. See, if we really had a kinship as women, whether women across racial lines or specifically black women, you would never hear these situations come up. Yet it happens all the time. There was a white girl that was a student at the Naval Academy that did the same thing. She found out that her boyfriend had cheated on her, and she helped him kill the girl he cheated with. And it also happened down in Texas, I believe, with a group of high schoolers. A cheerleader was killed because some girl at school was jealous over a little boy. Okay? So I would just say to you guys, to deal with people as individuals, don't assume that you have a bond with a person just because they're your same race. Don't assume that a person will have your back just because they're your same race and your same gender. Okay? Because that's not realistic and that's not how life works. And if you're ever in a situation where you feel like there's some sort of danger, do everything that you can to get out of that situation. If you have family members that you trust, do what you can to see if your family members can help you get out of it. And what I would suggest to younger black women is to understand something and listen to this, and hopefully you will learn this sooner than later. Okay? Most of the time, when you're dealing with other black women, if a dispute ever arises over a man, you would be safe in assuming that that woman is not going to side with you over that man. Okay? The sooner you learn that, the better off you will be. Okay? I'll talk to y'all soon.